Hey, today I wanted to show a cool DDX brick that I built to help track user engagement within a Domo instance. To start off, I really do like the Domo Stats activity log dataset that you can download from the App Store. But in my mind, this is a bit overkill where sometimes, they put so many cards on here, we really don't know what's most important. And so I feel like this is really underutilized. I think it's great for you to put in your instance, and I would definitely recommend it. But for me, being able to have and track engagement in line on a dashboard is just as important, right? Because as admins, we're building on dashboards all the time. We probably forget about this activity log dashboard. And so what I did is basically the requirements I had for this brick is I wanted to create an engagement app that would track usage of a dashboard over time. I wanted to put it in line on a dashboard, and I wanted it to not be seen by people who weren't admin in the instance. And so in the end, what I came up with was this very simple brick, which is a Spark bar. And basically it tracks engagement over the last 30 days. So this right here is how many views have been on this dashboard. And then it gives you an ability to exclude admins from that. And so it'll hot reload the query. And in this case, show that in this case, engagement is a lot worse than we were thinking, right? It looks like here we just have tons of admins looking at this dashboard. And so this brick, actually, the way that I structured it works on any dashboard that you're on in Domo. And so if I come back here to a different dashboard and we take a look at the brick, it'll load, and it's filtering down just to the specific page it's on, and it lets you exclude admins again. We can see that our engagement is maybe down a little bit more than we were anticipating. And so this is a pretty simple brick. I think the learnings here that I wanted to highlight is, first of all, if I come into my brick, I'm able to reuse this brick due to the Domo environment variables. And so right here, I'm going to the SQL API endpoint, and I'm just selecting something from the activity log. And in this case, I am filtering it down to where the object ID equals the Domo environment variable page ID. And so it's funny because when you're actually developing this brick, the page ID isn't passed here in the console. And so you have to actually save and finish and go out because then it'll pass the page ID. But anyway, this is kind of like PDP on a dashboard per se, where we're now able to put this brick on each dashboard. And using the Domo environment variables that we have, we're able to filter it down just to the specific data that we want. So we right away know how many, we just have a subset of data. The second thing is also, I also had it conditionally render only if you're an admin. And so to show this, if I come over here, I'm going to come to this again, and I'm here as my Elliott Hackathon user, where I'm just a privileged user. And if I reload this same page and come here, you can see I'm actually not able to see the brick. And the reason for this, this is a requirement that I thought of where I don't want just normal people to be able to see engagement and to like look at that granular data. And so in this case, it just shows up as a blank brick. And so the way we accomplish that is actually we are querying, I have two data sets here that are powering, and one of them is the Domo governance data set where it shows the profile of the people in your instance. And so basically I query it and say, hey, if the person who is currently looking at it is not an admin, then don't render the brick, right? So in this case, it's a pretty simple conditional. If a security profile doesn't equals admin, then you can render it. If not, don't render it and just keep it blank. And so that's a fun technique, right? So this shows how you can conditionally render bricks if you want to show different content depending on who the user is. I think that's a very cool technique with DDX bricks. Another learning I got from this brick was taking a look just at more the Domo Phoenix library. There's some chart methods, right? So chart render is how you render the chart at the beginning. Chart update is actually how filtering kind of works. And so in this case, I have that checkbox where if I check it, it'll re-render the dashboard just without admins in the data set. And so in this case, I learned about how there's this update method, you pass the data. Again, you can actually change it, like you could change the options of it too. So this gives you a little more flexibility than a normal card and analyzer would give you. So I definitely recommend taking a look at this, and I'll link this documentation in the notes of the video. So I think that's a good learning. If you'd like to take a look at this brick, I created a public repo where basically I just put in the CSS, HTML, and JS of the brick. It's funny because with DDX bricks, like it doesn't take long to build. The biggest thing that it took me to do is actually build the data set. I did like an aggregate data set where I took the activity log and only looked at page views and then aggregated it down to the last 30 days. And so that actually took more time than the brick itself. So anyway, really enjoy bricks, how easy they are to create. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.